Hello everyone. For this assignment, I want to talk about the biggest things I took away from the Boost Your Business with Generative AI course. Going into this course, I honestly thought AI was mostly just something people use to answer questions or help write papers. However, after finishing it, I realized it's a lot more practical than I expected. It can actually help businesses save time, come with ideas, improve customer service, and even compete with companies that have a lot more money and resources. One thing that stood out to me was learning what generative AI actually was. Instead of just finding information that's already out there, it creates new content. It can write emails, make social media posts, generate images, organize information, and help solve problems. I never really thought about how many different things businesses could use for it every single day. This course also talks about why AI is especially useful for small businesses. Bigger companies usually have teams dedicated to marketing, customer service, and even content creation. Smaller businesses don't always have that, so AI gives them a way to get more done without needing a huge staff or budget. I thought that was interesting because it helps level the playing field a little bit. Another thing I learned is that AI can be used in a lot more areas than expected. It can help create content, answer customer questions, organize data, and come up with product ideas, and even recognize patterns that might help make businesses make better decisions. Instead of replacing people, it seems like it's really helping to work faster and focus things that require human judgment. Probably the biggest lesson from the course is learning how important prompts are. Before this, I thought you could just type a question into AI, get exactly what you wanted. The course showed that's usually not the case. The better your instructions are, the better the response will be. One example they showed was the difference between saying something like, "Help me with marketing," versus giving the AI details about your business, who your customers are, and what kind of answer you're looking for. So once I saw those examples, it made sense why some people get really good results from AI and others don't. I also like the advice about treating AI like you're talking to a person. If the answer isn't exactly what you're looking for, you don't have to start over. You can ask follow-up questions. You can ask it to explain something differently. You can even ask you questions first. That was something I hadn't really thought of before. So this module also introduced different AI tools to me. I already knew about ChatGPT, but I didn't realize there were so many others that specialize in different things. Some are better for research, some help improve writing, some create images, and others help make presentations. It was interesting to see how many options businesses have depending on what they're trying to accomplish. The prompt guide also gave a lot of practical advice. It talked about giving the AI a role, explaining your goal clearly, thinking about your audience, and being specific about the format you want. Furthermore, it mentions that if the first answer isn't great, you should keep improving your prompt. Instead of settling for the first response, that seems like a good habit to build. But another thing that stuck with me was the section on risks. The course made it clear that AI isn't perfect. Sometimes it gives incorrect information, but it says it confidently. And that means you still have to double check important facts instead of assuming that everything it says is true. Not like Wikipedia. It also talked about privacy. You shouldn't enter confidential business information or sensitive customer information in the public AI tools because you don't always know how the information is being stored or used. So that's something I hadn't really considered before taking this course. The course also mentioned copyright bias and the fact that AI doesn't really have common sense or emotional intelligence. So because of that, I don't think AI should replace people whatsoever. Instead, I think it works best as something that helps people become more productive while still leaving the important decisions to humans. My biggest takeaway from this course is that AI is really just another tool. Like any tool, it's only as useful as the person using it. If you know how to ask good questions and you take the time to review the answers, it can save a lot of time and help you come up with ideas that you might have thought about on your own. As someone studying business, I can definitely see myself using AI in the future, whether it's helping organize ideas, writing a first draft, brainstorming marketing ideas, analyzing information, it's something that only is going to become more important with the more workload you might take on. At the same time, the course reminded me that it's still my job to think critically, fact check your information, and make the final decisions yourself. So overall, I think that this course helped me finish with a much better understanding of what generative AI actually is and the role it plays in our business day to day and the responsibility you must carry while using AI. Thank you.